I was browsing Reddit earlier, right? 1 hour ago, like just before starting stream, when I happened to cross this thread, and I'd love your guys' input on this, okay? According to GameLook, Kudo's income is up 243%. And then an overlook of the state of the game and its community. With the start of 2.1, version 2.0 ended so we can look through how it performed. How do you guys think it performed? You guys think it did good? While many were anxious over the sales of the game because its placement in the stores, nobody was anxious over the sales of the games. The only people that were the people that sit there going, Sensor Tower says my game earned more than your game. An internal letter from Solon Lee leaked saying January 2nd was the highest single-day revenue of the game since release, which led to discussions in the player community. GameLook's own conclusion at the time was that Wuwa's revenue stream was gradually increasing with more people playing on PC, and judging by experience and player feedback, that might be the case. Okay, how many of you actually play Wuthering Waves on PC? Genuine question. Because everyone I know does. I do as well. I can't play action games on a mobile device. My fingers are too big and the mobile device is too small. You play on PC, you play on PC, you play on PC, you play, okay, so like a lot of you apparently play on PC. Okay, good to know. Oh, there's one mobile. There's a mobile. The game quality in Wuwa 2.0 has a trend to gradually align more towards PC and console games than mobile. That's very true. How many of you have actually noticed that it seems to be like they're actually improving the quality overall, making it much more, or feel much more like a AAA game than a mobile game. Now that more than a month has passed, if you review Wuwa 2.0 again, you'll find out that some of these conclusions were verified. According to Sensor Tower, okay, no, come on, let's disregard the Sensor Tower thing. We can't do this both ways. We can't say, you know, revenue on Sensor Tower is down this month, therefore we're taking this as fact. And revenue is up this month, therefore we'll take that as fact. No, the numbers that Sensor Tower published, we cannot cite as fact. Was global revenue surged nearly 3 times in January with Kudo increasing to 243%. I have no doubt that this is in fact the case, but at the same time, I refuse to ever say Sensor Tower is a reputable or even a reliable source. Looking at these stats though, it is good to see in China, this is the App Store and the Google Play Store. We see Wuthering Waves here is at number 15, which is actually very good. Now again, we cannot cite revenue here, but we can still see how the game was doing on the App Store and the Google Play Store. So this we can use. We can definitely see Wuwa was at number 15 right here. Above it was AFK Journey. I think this is Naruto Mobile. Here's Honkai Star Rail. I don't see Genshin Impact or Zenless Zone Zero. Maybe I'm blind. I don't know. I see Girls Frontline 2 at number 29. I don't recognize any of the other games really though, but Wuwa is at number 15. That is very good. According to the platform, Wuwa's global mobile revenue for January was around $40 million, which if accounted for 1-to-1 mobile and PC split would be double. I don't know, chat, I'm gonna be honest. It doesn't matter what Sensor Tower says. I still think a lot more people play Wuwa on PC than they do mobile, so it's probably triple or more. This result is second only to server opening. At the same time, Wuwa also ranked 3rd in global with only Genshin Star Rail above, which we also saw on the PlayStation Store as well, which I did a dedicated video on. This alone is enough to verify Wuwa 2.0 is a success, and judging by the upward curve of version 2.0, the question is if the subsequent versions can maintain this momentum, which is a very valid question. Will Wuthering Waves 2.2, 3, 4, etc. continue to be as good as 2.0 and as fun as 2.1 was? And you guys are more than welcome to give your opinions too, because I personally think that 2.1 was a lot of fun. It was very casual, but the whole boat fishing thing was very fun. The story with Phoebe, the inclusion of Zani and everything was all handled incredibly well, especially for what seemed to be like somewhat of a side story. Before we go any further, I do want to take a moment here to thank all of my incredible patrons over on Patreon and my YouTube channel members who allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are absolutely phenomenal, and I genuinely cannot thank you all enough for the support. In terms of today, February 14, version 2.1, Wuwa was ranked 11th on the best-selling list on China iOS, the same rank that 2.0 was. In terms of overseas market, it has also entered the top 10 in both Japan and Korea. 9th in Japan, 7th in Korea. So the release of 2.1, a side story, the game was ranked as highly as 2.0 was. What Solon Lee himself considered was the highest revenue day since launch. That is crazy. Genuinely, really freaking good. If even a side story, a filler patch, technically, for all intents and purposes, can do as well as 2.0 did, then we're kind of setting ourselves up for a lot of success here. For a filler patch, I'm surprised it went that hard. I know, right? Version 2.1 and updates. What's important is Kudo showing that WUA will still rise higher with constant follow-ups on game quality assurance. Taking version 2.1 as an example, in addition to the regular new characters, the new story, the activities, they also added the RTX feature for PC, which Susanoo, I think, was the one that said it actually messed up their computer, but for the most part, I've seen a lot of praise for it. In addition, WUA also started their own cloud WUA test in this version. While most early optimization and performance problems were solved already on mobile, WUA is a very high performance game with demands, so cloud WUA will be a relatively good solution to alleviate this performance requirement in mobile devices, which is very cool. Other big games in the market, like MiHoYo's and NetEase's games, already had cloud versions for some of their games, so in this aspect, Kudo is keeping up with the competition in the market. Awesome. In addition, it was officially announced that WUA will release on Apple Mac on March 27th, so the 3 people that play video games on a Mac are going to be able to now play Wuthering Waves as well, which is great because, you know, the amount of people that play on a Mac are the cumulative total of Tower Fantasy players. So regarding this, Apple already showcased that they want to invest more into the gaming market on the WWDC Global Developers Conference last year in June, where Apple showcased was one of their representative high-quality games for Mac in their presentation. Actually, remember this, I did a dedicated video on this as well, because it had games like Dead Island 2, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Pal World, they had Valheim, World of Warcraft, The War Within, and then they had Wuthering Waves up there, which was a gacha game. It was the only gacha game listed here, which was really cool. It's difficult to say how much Apple will invest in the gaming business on their platform. It might give Kudo some short-term revenue, while another option to play for the gamers is never negative. On that note, with the launch of 2.0, we'll release on the PlayStation 2 and catapult up to second place in Japanese PlayStation Network, which I also covered. Now, even a month later, it is still in the top 10, which would count as a successful launch, indicating a good foothold in the Japanese console market. As you can see here, the top-rated PlayStation Network games right now, Monster Hunter Wilds, that makes complete sense, followed by Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Zenless Zone Zero, Apex Legends, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, Battle Operation 2, the mobile Gundam game, Street Fighter 6, Wuthering Waves at number 7. That is great. They're actually above Valorant, Fortnite. This is a monolithic achievement for a game like this. This is Kudo's only console game at present. That is phenomenal. WUA also won the PlayStation Blog's Player's Choice Award for January release thanks to player votes. Very true. I thought that was also very cool. Player reception. After the initial release of 1.0, the reaction to 1.1 with Jin and Changli as characters in Mount Firmata's new zone so soon was seen more as trying to save their game in the player community in a negative sense, bringing forward the map and highly liked characters because the game was doing badly and player retention failing. I actually thought 1.1 was the very first time in the story that they showed a significant increase in quality. I thought 1.1 was actually the coolest part up until that point. What do you guys think? What were your thoughts on 1.1 as a patch? You know, the Mount Firmata patch with Jin and Changli. However, this time, in 2.1, the production team revealed the Riccioli Islands and the underground vault as the map in stream at the end, showed off a small PV revealing 4 different versions, version 2.0 through 2.4, with 3 new characters, which all look very cool. By the way, the reception was very good and cemented in the community that WUA stays, will improve, and most of 2.0 to 2.4 is already done in advance if they can give out roadmaps. It also gives proof to Solon Lee's words, who previously said that as long as the production team had new ideas to implement, the only thing stopping them was production capacity being insufficient. But they will do what they can, focusing on player needs first and on the content that satisfies players, which I cannot stress enough how much I appreciate. Gradually improving community environment. Another thing GameLook observed is that the community vibe and environment drastically improved over time. Of course, this doesn't mean insult flinging between games disappeared overnight, as that is impossible before the general gacha community environment improves, because extremist players will always fan the flames. That's true. There are tons of WUA players that incite a lot of negative reactions from Genshin players during streams and vice versa. There are tons of Genshin players that continue to lash out at WUA players. So on the other hand, WUA's community environment improvement might be attributed to there being more normal players. More normal players in a gacha game. Sure. Compared to the chaos of the server opening, most official updates now discuss the game and will also gradually from their own second creation environment of fan content. You have forum topics, changes people want, combat showcases, music videos. Yeah, the style of content is definitely evolving too, which I think is really good. For example, one of the most famous chasing husbands in the snow picture meme originated from this person, a Korean artist, and spread everywhere in the community. Getting updates with each new version, more girls joining the crowd for Rover's attention. The artist got a massive follower count thanks to Wuan. Seems like she will be a regular creator for the game, which is always good news. More content creators. The other reason why the community environment might improve so much is thanks to many flaws disappearing from the game altogether that was present on launch. Optimization, low light plot, the period has passed thanks to the efforts of the production team. Players can truly feel the game's progress over the last half a year in content quality and player experience. Very true. This also shows that content-oriented games, game content will always be the basis for success. Of course, the community environment shouldn't be policed by the players themselves. The developers have to make moves to make it better too. For example, recently Kudo issued a statement regarding false rumors, clarifying information, and holding people legally accountable for their actions. All in all, it wasn't easy for Wuwa to go from the initial chaos to this overtime. This is also one of the few good news in the increasingly big market on open world gacha games. GameLook hopes Kudo can show more in the subsequent operation of the game. Their understanding of the open world, after all, judging from the situation of a number of flagship gachas coming in the future, will be essential. The high standard and large-scale environment, or investment rather, in open-world gacha R&D has not yet been abandoned by publishers, and the open-world gacha war is about to enter the second half in the coming years. There you go, chat. Gacha war. The second half of the gacha wars. Ananta, Azure Permelia, Arknight's Enfield, Neverness to Everness, Wang Yua, Unending Dawn, Duet Night Abyss. It's coming. It is coming. The next stage of the gacha war. Are y'all ready? Are y'all prepared for this? Hey, where do you think you're going? I see what you're doing there. I see you navigating on over, scrolling on over to that X button. Don't you dare. What I need you to do is take a moment and click one of the videos that are about to appear as soon as I'm done talking. And trust me, you're gonna want it.